We got that huge push to the upside on Bitcoin yesterday. That sent everybody absolutely crazy. And that was met by a bearish resistance point. So we're holding a key level of support on Bitcoin now. And everybody's thinking, what's that going to do to the altcoins? It absolutely battered the altcoins yesterday. So there's no confidence in altcoins. Bitcoin's starting to pull back. How far can Bitcoin pull back? We're going to look at the macro. We're going to look at total three, the strength of the dollar, Bitcoin dominance, and then paint that bigger picture as to what needs to happen this week for us to get a drive in altcoins. Right, okay, guys, Bitcoin this week. Are we going to be bullish? Are we going to be bearish? Altcoins this week, bullish, bearish. We've got lots of questions. We've got lots of key areas that we do need to hold, guys, that's going to give us a key indication of direction because it is all about the flow of the money. That's what we look for on a Monday morning. Where is the flow of money going to be going forward for the week? What happens if something changes? What happens if we're wrong? Think about swimming, guys. If you're swimming upstream against the current, is that more difficult than swimming downstream with the current? We're trying to swim downstream with the current, with the flow of capital, because where the flow of capital goes, that's the easiest money to be made. So the Bitcoin chart, we've got two areas marked out here. We've got a fib retracement in red from its previous swing high, its all-time high, all the way to this move here, the swing low. That is a 78.6% retracement that we broke, guys. We tested the neckline nearly, and then we've come back down. You can see we're holding this as support. That area is sitting at 102,276, and that's the last line of support until we get to this area here. Remember the red mark from this swing high to this swing low. So the next red mark is the 61.8% retracement, which we've broken through already, but that needs to act as support going forward, and that's sitting at 96,131. So it's already given Bitcoin wiggle room. If we drop this area, this is going to be the first support zone. Where's the next support zone, guys? We've got the green count here from its swing low to its swing high. You've got your 38.2% retracement sat at 94,595. So that's creating a zone for us. That's creating a buy zone. That's creating a support zone. That's allowing us a bit of wiggle room to pull back to this area, let other charts do what they need to do, and give us confidence and allow us to have that momentum to be able to push, create the right shoulder, test the neckline again, and create that inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a high probability move. Got one of the Discord group yesterday, guys, one of our members, Odie, he put this out there yesterday. It looks very similar to my chart, 4 hour. Got your left shoulder, you got your inverse head, you got your right shoulder that hasn't played out. If we come back to the 61.8% retracement or the 38.2 from the previous swing low, guys, this support base, that's showing a right shoulder forming. If that happens, whilst the indicators are pulling back, that's giving momentum to the bulls as long as we put in that higher low, as long as we hold this support base. So upward pressure, downward pressure. We've talked about where the flow of capital is, whether you're swimming upstream, downstream. That's what we're going to be talking about, guys, because we're collectively looking at different charts. Remember, these are the ones that we want to be going upstream. Bitcoin, we want the total three to be going upstream. You can see we've had a rejection point, rejection, rejection. That is a strong resistance point. Once we overcome that resistance at 930 billion, then we're going back, guys, all the way to 1.14 trillion with little resistance there. Once we beat the 1.14 trillion, guys, that is my signal to start scaling out of the crypto market, the same as I scaled in during build phase. So it's getting closer. It's getting closer. That's a big resistance point that we do need to overcome. When will we overcome that, guys? When Bitcoin puts in new all-time highs. When Bitcoin puts in new all-time highs, that total three is going to start coming up to new all-time highs because the market's got confidence. The market will start to get greedy. There'll be less fear in the market, and you'll be swimming upstream, guys, where it's easy. So you're swimming upstream on total three. You're swimming upstream, guys, or we're wanting to swim upstream on BTC. What about downstream? This is what we're waiting for because we want the dominance shift from bullish to bearish on Bitcoin dominance. And we want this drop signaling that there's confidence coming out of Bitcoin into altcoins. Things are starting to go on risk. Things are looking rosy in the world, and people are starting to buy back altcoins, bringing that shift of dominance from 63.94% all the way down to these regions here, guys, 58 to 57%. That's the downward pressure that we want. This is the downward pressure that we want, guys, the USDT dominance. You can see that we're making another push up here to this trend line. We want a rejection at that trend line and then a push to the downside. We want downward pressure, but there is a little bit of wiggle room, guys. It's a bit of wiggle room here to this trend line before you get the downward pressure. So there could be a potential wait. You could get a little drop in Bitcoin. You could get another spike in USDT dominance. So we look at the Dixie after that, the strength in the dollar against the fiat currencies, and you can see downward pressure, resistance, resistance, and you got a resistance push to the downside. So that's where you want pressure to the downside. You want it on the dollar. You want it on Bitcoin dominance. And then you want pressure to the upside on total three. You want pressure to the upside on Bitcoin. And then the last one, guys, this is the upside pressure starting. This is the big one. This is Ethereum against Bitcoin. Once we start breaking, guys, these resistance levels here, then Ethereum will start outperforming Bitcoin. Once Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, altcoins will start outperforming Bitcoin. Altcoins will start outperforming Ethereum. Altcoins will fly. We'll get our alt season. Dominance will drop. Dominance will drop. The downside pressure on the dominance will push us down. The USDT dominance, that'll push to the downside. DXY, that'll push to the downside. You'll get ETH, that'll push to the upside. So we're waiting, guys, to find out what Bitcoin's doing. Again, remember, we're led by what Bitcoin does. It is the biggest market leader by a long shot, 64% of the whole of the crypto market combined. So that has got to make the first move, and that's what we're waiting for. Bitcoin to make its first move. Is it going to hold this 78.6? Is it going to pull back down to the support zone? Guys, I'll be with you here. Join the Discord group. We'll talk about it in there, and I'll see you in the next one.